Okay, hey, this is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. And before I begin, if any of you out there make videos and you use these earbuds, I've been putting the earbuds, the one with the little microphone, in my pocket instead of hanging it from my ear, because the wind hits that, makes a lot of noise. And it's been working. So, all right, my project for today, and I think this is neat. There's probably going to be a few installments of this one. This is what we did. I had my sons helping me this morning. I get about a half a day out of them. And there was 30-ish pigs up on here. There's still a few in the catch pen there. And those ones are actually leaving tomorrow. But we moved them over to here. And that's 100 by 100. This grow area is 300 long, 100 wide. So it's broken into 3 pieces. And now the piece that I just took them off, let's have a look at this. Now Frank helping me. Have a look at this. There is not a blade of grass standing out here. And they went on it at the end of last summer. And if you remember, I'd grown daikon radishes out here. And when we went into winter, there was still a lot of green on the ground. There was so much out here for them. And when the snow cleared and they could get in, they started digging. So they've dug some pretty nice holes. And you know, they'll dig holes here that will fill in the other holes. So it's pretty rough. And then we had their houses up here. And you can see there's manure everywhere. All right, 25, 30 pigs. And they're all getting up there. They're all 150 to 175. Okay, so we moved them over onto this 1/3 over there this morning. And all we had to do was open a gate, and through it they went. Because there was a little bit of grass over here. And if you remember, this field here, I planted those gopher radishes on at the end of last summer. Got really good growth on them. Snow came down, filled in around them. And then we had that warm spell around February. And we lost all of our snow. We had these beautiful stand of radishes out here. Or, yeah, gopher radishes. And then it got cold. And it froze them off. So there's nothing left. But this came in, and I don't really know what it is. I pulled some out. It just appears to be like orchard grass. And I ate some of it, and it's sweet. And they seem to like it. So let's talk about these pigs on here now. That's a subject that needs to be talked about, I think, because I see it as a tremendous opportunity. As soon as I turned them in here, they cleaned up the edges of this, all the grass that was up. So they got it and they want more of it. So it's a little bit of a small area for them, and they will be in here for about 6 weeks. So how will I deal with that? I'm probably going to mow today, or I won't call it mowing anymore, I'll call it harvesting. So I'll be harvesting all this nice green grass around here with my harvester. I won't call it a mower anymore, I'll call it a harvester. Dad, you spend too much time on the mower. Harvesting, I'm harvesting. So I'll be harvesting around here, and then I will just be dumping it in with them, because I have a harvest catcher on it. Sometimes they call it a bagger, but it's a harvest catcher, I'll call it. And I'll just be dumping it in, because they're ravenous. You see those tails going now? They are looking for something to eat. This is the spring flush, is what it's called. And this is when these pigs will take right off, because when they go into winter, I don't think it's their metabolism. I think it's something else. I'm not exactly sure, because I don't think their metabolism will change, but their drive to eat changes. And they, a type of animal like this is somewhat like a bear. In the wintertime, I believe if we put these guys out in the wild, I believe, I don't know this for sure, but if they did climatize to a tough climate like this in northern Michigan, I believe they would be somewhat like a bear in that they would sort of semi-hibernate because there's just not much food out in the woods in the wintertime. Too much snow, you know. And in order to survive, they would have to slow themselves down. Now, that's just a theory, but I see in the wintertime where their food consumption goes way down and their rate of growth goes way down. So, now that it's spring, it's the time to really lay the feed to them. And the more I talk about this whole homestead thing, the more I can come to grips with the seasonality of what we're doing. Like in the commercial mode, restaurants and stores, they want chicken in the wintertime. Well, we don't grow chicken in the wintertime, so that means we have to put a bunch of chicken in our freezer, our walk-in freezer, and then run the electricity to that to keep it until they want it, right? And it's sort of like this, like the pigs don't want as much feed in the wintertime, and so, and we don't have as much feed in the wintertime. Now in the springtime they want a lot more, and we have a lot more. I don't know if that's a good analogy. Where am I? 6 minutes, 7 minutes, okay. So I won't keep this too long. What I'm needing to do here today is I need to move all these huts off, and I'm going to set a couple of them up in my calf area because I do have some calves that are coming. I've got a lot of grass, so that's when I need to have animals that can eat the grass. And then the rest of them I'll put in storage, and then I'm going to put on my new rototiller and then come out here and make a couple passes, and then I'll show you how it looks. As I said to you before, this field is divided up in thirds. So it's 100, 100, 100. The only thing is the first fence is a virtual fence. And it's a virtual fence because we haven't built it yet. We got everything ready to go, but then other things came up and it never got built. And that was supposed to happen last summer. It just didn't happen. So what I'm going to do here, this is a perfect place to do like controlled grows. I'm going to plant one of them with kale and then the other one with field peas. And I am thinking, see, I need to record this because I'm thinking that the field peas are going to come up first and then they're going to max out first. And that's when I'm going to want to let these guys go from this field that they're in over to this one. So I'll put field peas in this one. And then kale will be all the way down. All right, so let's say they take a month to clear this out. The kale could be 2 months growth, so it could be crazy. Now, kale is going to be interesting because when it starts is when we're going to want it. So we will take off what we want, and then I can get it in my dehydrator or just put it out in the sun. I've been doing some testing with my dehydrator. And I'll tell you what, a piece of dark tin in full sun dehydrates stuff a whole lot quicker than running the electricity for the fan and the heating element in that dehydrator. But we'll see. I got to keep testing that. We'll see if it does have a place here. I don't know if it will, to be honest with you. It seems as though we could do a lot of that stuff just with the sun. Okay, I'm getting close on time, so let's cut it off here. This is Mark for Baker's Green Acres. Remember, anyone can farm.